Yeah, well, this should be a fun one. This is Sinclair Lewis. It's an older book. I don't know if I could say he's my favorite author, but he's in the top 5 for sure. And this is very old, so it's all, you got to be careful with it, and it's called Main Street. So this is from 1920. So this is almost 100 years old. I almost feel bad opening this thing because I just keep it in my... Because I love Sinclair Lewis because he wrote... I don't know. It's almost like every single... If you want to read books from way back when, just read everything that Sinclair Lewis wrote. You could skip Dickens, you could skip Twain, honestly. Because these are more, you could skip, what's his name? Yeah, never mind. He is one of the greatest, most concise writers. So it's the kind of book that if you're reading when you're a kid, it's gonna make sense. It Can't Happen Here. Nobody's read that book. It's an awesome book. Everybody should read it. I'm gonna open this up, and I have to be careful. And I'm gonna just, I don't know, it's 100 years old, so I'm gonna be careful. Miles Bjornstrom. The Pariah. Red Swede. That was his name. It's in quotes. Had brought his circular saw and portable gasoline engine to the house to cut the cords of Popular for the kitchen range. Kennicott had given the order. Carol knew nothing of it till she heard the ringing of the saw and glanced out to see Bjornstrom in black leather jacket and enormous ragged purple mittens, pressing sticks against the whirling blade and flinging the stove lengths to one side. The red, irritable motor kept up a red, irritable tip, 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 tip. The whine of the saw rose till it simulated the shriek of a 5-alarm whistle at night. But always, at the end, it gave a lively metallic clang. And in the stillness, she heard the flump of the cut stick falling on the pile. I really don't remember this one. But if this guy isn't cutting up a body, I don't know who is. I think the best part is tick, 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 tip, 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 tip. It's literally tip, 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 tip. The metallic clang. Why would you have a metallic clang unless you had metal on metal? In the stillness, she heard the flump of the cut stick falling on the pile. What is it? Stick falling on a pot. Miles Bjornsson, the pariah, Red Swede. So Red Swede's a bad guy. I haven't read this for, I would say 15, 20 years. Had brought a circular saw. So there's a circular saw involved. And why would there be a tip, 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 tip with a circular saw? Either it goes through, it doesn't, unless you're cutting through metal. Carol knew nothing of it till she heard the ringing of the saw. Saws don't ring. Glanced out to see Bjornstrom. Black leather jacket, enormous ragged purple mittens. Well, that just sounds insane. Pressing sticks against whirling blade. All right, so I'm not gonna. So I have an inherent love for this dude based on his other stories, and I may have caught him on a back paragraph, but this is just silly. And I think that the thing that we should take from this is, if you ever want to write a book, the whine of the saw rose till it simulated the shriek of a fire alarm. Whistle at night, but always at the end it gave a lively metallic clang. And in the stillness she heard the flump of the cut stick falling on the pile. Just know you can easily make up random sentences anytime you want to write a book, and you can easily fill up a ton of space, because that is horrible. And I love this dude. I would have called him one of my favorite authors because of. I think it's because I take over. Every time I read him, it's like I take the entire thing in, and I probably skim over this kind of stuff. I don't look at it and diagnose it. But how many authors do we do that to? Where you're like letting them go. You're just thinking talk shit for a paragraph, and then you still love them. Maybe that's awesome. Oh man, this whole thing I'm trying to do is not. It's backfiring on me because I thought I was gonna be. I don't know. I'll be back.